We have interferences in relationships. Shoot, when someone cuts us off in traffic when we're driving. Just in life, a lot of times things aren't perfect. They don't go the way that we want them to. And so just being able to navigate those and still being able to, be present and be aware, that's what makes life kind of fun, all those challenges.
That's what makes it worth it. Kelsey Plum in the house. Hey, Kels.
What up, Joshy?
So good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Always a pleasure. I love it. This is an annual thing now. Last year, Thanksgiving, had you over for the podcast. I think we got a little annual thing going.
I mean, I'm excited what next year's going to bring.
Something big. Like, we're just getting bigger and bigger each year. A little bit.
I mean, this year you fed me.
That's right.
So next year, pots and pans.
Pots and pans, furniture maybe for your new condo.
There you go.
Yeah. So you're in San Diego now. What's it like coming back to San Diego after being away for so long? Does it feel like home? Does it feel fun? What's the vibe like?
You know, it almost feels like kind of foreign. Like I had to use like Google Maps to get to country day today. I feel. Yeah, I mean, it feels great to be here. Like, I love people here. Like, I love you. My family's here. But, yeah, I don't know if it feels like home anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So where feels like home for you?
I would say Vegas. Vegas, that's where I'm at. But, yeah, I'll always love coming to San Diego.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so you had a big trip this past summer out in Tokyo. You brought home the gold. Congratulations. Very exciting.
Thank you.
Question for you, and I'll hear a little bit more about that experience, but what was something that most people don't realize about being in the Olympics and participating in the Olympic Games, winning a gold medal, that most people don't realize that you experienced?
Wow. I didn't realize, well, a couple things. Okay, two things. One, I didn't realize, so we won the gold.
Yeah.
And immediately they have ceremony uniforms to change into for the medal stand. And so, like, you don't shower or anything. I mean, some people have it the next day. Basketball had it instantly after. Yeah. So you're, like, hot and sweaty and nasty.
Yeah.
You just put on these gold medal, like, podium uniforms, and Nike had them made out of trash. So they were like this.
What do you mean trash? Like literal trash? Like
yeah, it was like recycled, okay, yeah. Like, and not that was like kind of the cool theme. You're not saying no, I don't want to know. I don't want to go there. Yeah. But it was like really hot, like insulating, almost like a sauna sweat bag.
Yeah.
And we had already played in one, and I'm already sweaty. And then as soon as I walk off the court, I see a lady, and she's pointing at me. She has a badge on, and I know exactly who she is. She's a drug tester. She's here to drug test me. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
No
like,
way.
We just won gold. And she's like, yes, you. I'm like,
did everybody get tested, or
nope,
did she just singled out
just me.
Really?
So as soon as we finish, we have to do the medal stand. So what happens is she just follows you everywhere. So I have to, like, change into my clothes. Like,
and she's right there.
She's right there. Anytime, I walk anywhere, she's right there.
Yeah.
So we go on the medal stand. It was wonderful. And then, mind you, I haven't talked to my family. I haven't talked to anyone. It's been like 2 hours since we won.
And you're just still going through the logistics.
And I'm going through all the logistics, the media, and then I have to go get drug tested. And so finally when I get my phone, I FaceTime my mom, and it just goes to voicemail.
No way.
I'm just like, are you kidding me? Because they were in Florida. The Olympics. Sorry, it's like a long story.
This is great.
The Olympic committee basically gives you tickets to send your family to Universal Studios.
Got it.
So they were in Universal Studios, and they were on roller coasters.
No way.
So I'm trying to call my family because I won a gold medal, and they're like, woo, on some roller coaster.
That's amazing. So right after you won, they're probably like, all right, we know she's going to be wrapped up. We're going to go hit this roller coaster.
Yeah. I mean, they got back to me eventually, but it was like,
so funny.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So winning a gold medal, like, has that ever been a dream of yours? Is that something that you've dreamed of for a while, or is that something that just kind of evolved to happening? It's obviously something that's great, but was that something that you wanted for a long time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I joke I, like, won a gold medal in the X Games because it's, like, 3-on-3 basketball or whatever. But in all seriousness, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a dream I've had since I was a kid. My next goal is to obviously play 5-on-5. But yeah, I mean, it was an amazing experience, and I loved the camaraderie. Like wherever you went, it was like, who you playing, and like, go America. It doesn't matter what sport. Like everyone just, the support from back home, and then obviously when you're there, it's just really, really cool to see everyone come together.
Yeah. Was it challenging because of COVID to not have your friends and family like in the stands there?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, because we're very isolated. I mean, we literally went from the hotel, because we didn't stay in the Olympic Village, so we went from the hotel to the like the
Arena,
court,
yeah.
right? And so we really didn't interact with people. If you're not playing, you're pretty much in your room. And so it was tough, but when you start playing, you don't really notice. You just play.
Yeah, you're zoned in. So on the highlight reel or the surface level, someone sees you winning a gold medal, amazing. What's the behind the scenes stuff that people don't appreciate, or what are they not seeing behind the scenes that it actually takes to get there? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, first of all, we played outside, and so Tokyo was about 90 degrees, 90% humidity, which feels like 105, 106. And so for the last 3 months leading up to Tokyo, had to do heat training. So I was like riding my Peloton in Vegas, like 120 degree heat. I was in saunas. I was like, I mean, it was like brutal. And that was like after WNBA practice. That was after a WNBA game, because you have to train your body to acclimate to the heat so you don't overheat and then cramp or like get. And so, I mean, it was brutal trying to get ready for it. And so people don't realize the time and like certain details it takes putting into it to then obviously be able to be successful.
Yeah, to go perform at a high level and then be successful at that level. That's amazing. So one of the things I think we were talking about last year was you recovering from the Achilles injury. So you made a full recovery and you had an incredible year. Tell me a little bit more about that process of coming back and returning to playing, and then the season that you've had.
I mean, my goal was to come back better, better shape, faster, stronger, and then mentally healthy. And I felt like of all the things, maybe physically, that I did get better at or improve in, mentally it was where I made the biggest leap. You know, I started working with a psychologist, a mental coach, and he really helped me navigate a lot of like interferences or things that get in the way of performing at your best. And so for me, I think changing that was probably the biggest difference in my game.
And what effect did you see that have on your game on the court?
Even past my game, just life.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of times he calls them interferences, but a lot of things get in the way. I mean, I could take, for example, you know, say a game, you miss the first couple shots, you turn the ball over, coach is yelling at you. All these different interferences can get in the way of you being able to perform, you know, at the next possession. But being aware that they're there and then basically disarming them and moving forward in the moment, that's what allowed me just to bounce back as quick as I did. And then throughout games, I would just keep getting better and better because I wouldn't let interferences get in the way.
Yeah, and how does that translate to off the court into life?
I mean, we have interferences in relationships. Shoot, when someone cuts us off in traffic when we're driving. Just in life, a lot of times things aren't perfect. They don't go the way that we want them to. And so just being able to navigate those and still being able to, you know, be present and be aware, that's what makes life kind of fun, all those challenges.
That's what makes it worth it. And I think so much of that is the awareness of like, this is an interference I'm dealing with here. This is a challenge. Because I think it's all subconscious until you realize like, oh, you just feel a certain way because your coach yells at you or someone cuts you off and you're just like angry, or the food is coming late at the restaurant that you're sitting at and just like you get irritated. But if you can take a step back and recognize, I'm feeling like, why am I feeling this way? And tune into that and be like, this is an interference. I like that word for it. This is an interference. So how can I shift my perception around this? So I think that's really great. Interference. I like that. Shout out to that. Was that a psychologist you were working with that helped you with that one?
Yeah, he's a mental performance coach, and he specializes working with not just athletes, but he works with like surgeons, or professionals in business. And I think for me, it was just really cool because we would talk, you know, before games and kind of like word out possible interferences. Like what could come up today that could be problematic. For example, maybe someone you're guarding is really good, you might get in foul trouble. So like, how can we put yourself through that before the game even starts so that when it happens, or if it happens, you're able to basically clear out that interference?
Yeah, that's so good. Pre-game prep.
Yeah.
And same with life. You gotta prep for it.
Pre-game life, pre-game prep, absolutely.
That's so good. What does your pre-game life prep look like?
I mean, pretty similar. I think it starts with me meditating in the morning and kind of, working on that awareness we were talking about earlier. So when you're aware and you're present, you're able to see interferences come in. A lot of times if we're not present or we're just kind of caught up in life, we can't see like why we got frustrated or why we're anxious. And so I think that's the first step. And then me having a consistent level of gratitude and being very aware of like just the amazing things around me. Like me being here right now is like something I'm super grateful for. Yeah. And so it's really hard for interferences to get in when I'm super present.
Yeah. Gratitude is the equalizer too. That's why Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, because it's like you get to focus on the gratitude and the things you are grateful for.
I can see why it's your favorite holiday. I wonder too, like, do you challenge people on Thanksgiving to like?
Yeah, it's like, no, we're not taking the surface level. I'm grateful for friends and family. No.
People are probably like, oh, Josh is here.
Yeah, we got to go down a little bit deeper, which is great. It's amazing to be grateful for your friends and family, but what about your friends and family are you most grateful for? Like, give me a little bit more specifics. Like, let's get past that surface level a little bit, because there's so much to be grateful for. One of my favorite exercises that I do, gratitude exercise, Rampage of Appreciation. It's literally just start with pen and paper, or you can do a video or audio message too. You can do like an audio journaling, and you just start by listing things you're grateful for, things you appreciate. It can be little things. It can be inanimate objects like the desk you have, or the clothes that you wear, right? Or all the little things, the people you have in your life, and you just start, let it go, and you'll catch this like wave that just takes you, and it just builds momentum, and it shifts your state entirely, completely shifts your state. Yeah. And you can't not be grateful once you just list all of these things. You can't not feel like an uplifted energy. So it's one of my favorite exercises.
I love that.
Yeah. So what are you grateful for?
Friends and family. No, I'm kidding. Wow. Well, I'll start. I'm grateful to be in the States. A lot of times I think I'm, overseas playing. I'm grateful to be in the States. I'm grateful to be healthy.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that my family's healthy. I'm grateful that we get to be here together in this place. I think a lot of other places in the world, maybe that wouldn't be the case. I'm just grateful for the opportunities that I get every single day. Like, I'm grateful I get to go work out. Yeah. I'm grateful I get to, hang out with my family. And I think we're going to do something tonight. I'm super excited about that. Grateful for the sun. Gosh, it's so beautiful out, even though it's like winter in November. Doesn't really feel holiday, but I love this type of holiday. I mean, I could keep going.
I love it.
Okay.
You just did a rampage right there.
All
Isn't
right.
that great?
No, and guess what? I feel uplifted.
You feel good, right? You feel good. You can't be angry and grateful at the same time. Or you can't be unhappy and grateful at the same time, which is really interesting. Like, if you try to be like upset or pissed off and grateful, like, you just can't do it.
I will challenge that.
Let's hear it.
Only because yesterday when I tried to do my pool workout, and the pool wasn't heated, I was trying to be super grateful. I was having a really hard time because the pool was so cold I couldn't work out. But yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
What kind of pool workout were you doing?
Well, it was supposed to be like swimming.
Yeah.
And then I put my head underwater and I thought I had like brain freeze.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
It made me appreciate Navy SEALs because I was like,
yeah,
tap me out. I was like, I'm done. Sorry. My trainer, like, I apologize.
But then you had the sun to warm you up, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I got a question for you. So if you could go back and give yourself advice when you first got drafted into the WNBA, which was what, how many years ago? 5 years ago?
It would be 5.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
So if you could go back and give yourself advice after getting drafted, what would you give yourself? What would you tell yourself?
Oh my gosh, Josh. I was so far gone when I got drafted, like mentally, not in a good place. And I really think I put all my confidence and self-worth in my performance. And so I think that I don't know if one conversation would have been the difference, but I would go back and I would put my arm around me and I would just say like, hey kiddo, like, nothing else matters but your mental, emotional state right now. Nothing else matters. So let's get that right, and then we can focus on life. And so I would have tried to just be like a friend.
Yeah.
You know?
It's amazing. And it's amazing that even within the past 5 years that your perspective has shifted so much to be able to do that at this point. 'Cause some people will live their entire life without getting to that switch that flips, right? Or go through a lot more lows or challenging times before they're able to come to that appreciation. Do you think that was the Achilles a big one that helps, that like helped bring you to that, to force you to focus on the mental health piece? What else brought you there?
Yeah, I would say the Achilles saved my career. It's kind of like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
In a way. Absolutely. I think that, and, you know, life. You know, we go through different things, experiences, family stuff, personal stuff, and there's a lot of different opportunity to grow. And I feel like I've been, it's almost weird that I'm saying this, but I've been fortunate enough to be in like a lot of tough spots. And so that's just really another opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
And so I think it's funny, I'm 27, but I really feel like for the life experiences I've had, I'm like more like 35. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's been really, really good for me. And again, another something to be grateful for.
Yeah. It's those challenges. I like how you, in the instant you described challenge, you said as an opportunity to grow. That's such a powerful perspective. Have you always had that perspective?
No, not at all. I think the pandemic, you know, it's a privilege to be able to come out of the pandemic better. And I know that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, time kind of stood still for a lot of us. And I just think I try to take it as an opportunity to go a different direction in life.
Yeah. Okay, so on the other end of that,
Yeah.
your advice to yourself 5 years ago, I got another kind of trippy question for you.
Okay.
Right? Imagine, let's conjure up this image of 90-year-old, 100-year-old Kelsey Plum. wise version of yourself.
Okay.
Still, I just picture you're still cracking jokes, still getting in trouble for sure.
100%.
Okay. Eating tacos, definitely.
I don't know if the people know how much I got in trouble in high school.
I think that the people would love to hear how much you got in trouble in high school. There's
I think they think I'm like a really good kid, which I was a good kid.
Yeah, we got kicked out of class quite a few times.
Most 95% my fault.
Yeah, yep.
For sure.
It was the instigator. You were the instigator, and then you were leaving me and Yussi and other people to clean up after you. But we all went down together. That's how it went. So we got this image of 100-year-old wise Kelsey Plum. What advice does that version of Kelsey Plum have to you right now?
Oh, wow. Probably, just a guess. Really enjoy this like part of your life, right? I'm not married. I don't have kids. I'm not tied to anything, and I have so much like opportunity to, you know, I'm playing different places around the world. I'm playing in the WNBA. Financially, I have the freedom to be able to, you know, go explore and do some things. And I think my older self would tell me to just really relish in that, like enjoy it. So I'll try.
Yeah, I'm on it. I love that. That's a great question.
It is a great question.
Yeah.
I like how you just, how you just did that.
It always helps me kind of just remember, because the voice, I have a really good relationship with like 90-year-old version of myself. Like I reference him often.
Okay, what would he tell you?
It's like a wiser, like more profound version of yourself that has gone through all of the things in life experience. So it always tells me the things that I feel like I need to hear, which is usually exactly like you said, like, you're fine, chill out, take your time. Like it's all done, it's all gonna happen. So like, slow down and enjoy the unfolding of it. Enjoy the journey, because it's all done. I
really like what you said there, because I wonder in life, are there certain moments where it's not like he's like on your shoulder, but you think about maybe doing something or saying something, and then that version of you is like, is that going to age well?
Yeah.
Like, is that what you really want? Do you talk to yourself like that?
Intuition.
Okay.
We were talking earlier about that conviction that you have in following your intuition and trusting your gut. I think it's part of it. I think to me, it's like not to get too trippy over here, too woo-woo, but it's like that's the non-physical part of you. That's your soul. That's your energetic being. That is who you are, and the essence of it that lasts longer than these physical bodies last, in my opinion. That is that thing that exists outside of time and space, right? And so that is a perspective of that we're able to feel. Like, you feel that alignment, you feel that truth, right? It's not just like an intellectual knowing. It's like you feel that guidance in your body. Do you feel that? Like, when you listen to your intuition, is it like it's a feeling, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yes, it's a feeling.
No, it's a feeling, and it's strong.
Yeah.
Like, it's gravitating, and I think that when you feel that, you can also see it in other people, and you see them trusting their intuition and their gut, and it is even more of like a confirmation of that's like that person knows exactly what they want to do and how they're going to do it, and it's convicting to follow your own.
It really is. You were mentioning around challenges and opportunities to grow. What does the role of pressure have in play in your life? Because you're under pressure on a microcosm in games, right? Outside of games, in season, outside of season. Like, how do you view pressure? What's your relationship with pressure?
I think I heard Damian Lillard give an interview one time, and they were asking him similar about pressure. And he's like, this ain't pressure. Pressure is like trying to figure out where I'm going to eat my next meal, or, go to sleep tonight, or, take care of my family. I don't have pressure.
Yeah.
It's either opportunity.
Right.
There's expectations that, I have of myself, but pressure is, man, I'm so blessed to not have pressure. So I go out there and I do the preparation necessary to go out there and perform at the highest level I possibly can, but pressure is like, this ain't pressure, this is fun.
Yeah. This is a game.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
Such a great perspective. I did see that interview too.
I love that
really
interview.
Great. That shift, that shifted a lot for me watching that. How did that shift for you as a player of the same game?
I mean, I think it's, you listen to something like that and you take a step back, you're like, dang, that's really powerful. Because he's right. I mean, there's a lot of people with a lot of pressure, and how dare I try to act like what I do is pressure.
Yeah, it's an important reminder. Obviously, you still feel pressure at times because it's subjective, but
for sure.
But it's a different version of. It's a reminder of like as much pressure as I can feel in this moment. Like I'm gonna be okay. Like one of the things that I would always say, climbing different mountains. One of the things that we always say is, I will be in my tent tonight. Like no matter how tough the day is, like I will be in my sleeping bag in my tent tonight, and it'll be over. And I take that to the day-to-day too. Is I will be in my bed tonight, no matter how hard the workout is, the conversation I have at work is, whatever I'm dealing with is. Like I will be in my bed tonight. I will get through this, and that helps me a lot from that perspective.
Wow. I mean, I wouldn't climb a mountain and say that though. Good for you.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes like when you're growing up a brutal incline, it's just like I need to keep going. Like I'll be in my tent tonight. Like I will. Yeah, and that's another thing. It's voluntary. It's like I chose to be here. I paid to be here.
Yes.
Like we're out here for a choice. We have the choice to be here.
Yes.
That helps you shift it a bit.
I like when you said that I chose to play basketball.
Right.
Yes.
You've chosen to play basketball.
There are some people that life chose them, and like that's the way to provide for their family. And fortunately, I play because I love it.
Yeah. What are you most excited about coming up in your life?
Dude, where do I start? First and foremost, I think I'm really excited for this season. I feel like right now I'm going like this.
Nice trajectory.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm in a rhythm and I'm in a groove, and I'm just gonna take off.
Yeah.
Simple, but that's just what it is.
So good. I love it. Okay, Kelsey, this has been amazing to dive in with you a little bit deeper here as well. We've got some amazing tacos that we're going to go sit down and try and eat. So you ready to eat some tacos?
I'm so excited.
Cool. Amazing. So, all right, Kelsey, love you so much.
Always.
I'm excited for next year when you're here again to see where we're at
Let's
and to see
do
what
it.
we're doing. Cool. Thanks, Kelsey.
Cheers.
we just wrapped up here with Kelsey Plum. So good. We had a great conversation, diving beneath the surface, talking a little bit more about her time in Tokyo, bringing home the Olympic gold, recovering from the Achilles injury, and taking her game off to the next level and what she's excited about coming up in the future. We had an awesome conversation after we sat down and we did a taco taste test. 3 of the best taco spots in San Diego. They're pretty good.
So good.
So good. So we have that content for you to check out as well, of us rating the different tacos, where we got a chance to get behind the scenes, off the court, and talk a little bit more about life and get inside the mind and the brain of Kelsey to see a little bit more about what she's like out of her element and behind the scenes. So check out that content. Hope you enjoy.